Hi, Scott Orland with Cinema Magazine. There is a terrific new show coming your way, a new miniseries called Away. And we're here with the star of the show, Hilary Swank. I'm a little disappointed because I got geared up. I thought we were actually going to Mars.
I know,
Um,
I know. You're wearing my costume.
but I have to say, watching the show, one of the big quirks for me was like I have difficulty streaming and getting things online here. And here you were, how many millions of miles from Earth, and you had amazing Wi-Fi. What's the secret?
Not all the time, not in every episode, that's for sure. That was a cause of a lot of frustration as the journey went on. But it's funny because actually doing I know that everyone's doing their interviews like this nowadays with COVID and everything, but this feels very kind of appropriate for the show. It could feel like, I am in Mars and, or you in this matter, and I'm on Earth and we're doing our interview. It kind of is
Mhm.
fitting.
It's funny watching the show because I know as a little girl you actually wanted to grow up one day and maybe potentially become an astronaut. So going through this experience, but what our impressions are of what we think how cool it would be to be an astronaut, to then having to simulate weightlessness, the claustrophobia, did it affect your decision?
Well, it's interesting because I think everything we have an idea of what something's like from the outcome of what we see. So, of course, when you see someone walking on Mars, walking on the moon, or the potential of walking on Mars, or, just when liftoff happens and how like grand an adventure it is, it's like people look at actors and they think it's so glamorous when you see the final picture and we're on the red carpet at the premiere. But there's so much work that goes into all of this daily, like the minute details of everything, and the training to go on a mission into space is really it's so detailed. It's the training is so extensive, of what could happen and how to prepare for that, and the
Did
amount
you
of
like
work.
the weightlessness though? Did you kind of
Well,
enjoy that experience?
I would say that no, because we weren't ever weightless like you would be. So we were taking a lot of effort to make it look effortless when you were suspended by, the lowest part of your hips, and like squeezing your abs to go backwards and squeezing your glutes to go forward, but not being able to make that sound because you wouldn't do that when you're in zero gravity. So it took a lot of training, and it took a lot of getting into, good ab and glute shape to do it.
It's funny sometimes, and you as an actor especially, you go off and do a project maybe 3 and 4 months at a time, and you have to leave the people you care about. But could you fathom, going away for 3.5 years? And if you had to go away for 3.5 years, where could you go?
Well, I don't, look, I would never say never because it depends. Like you can't say no unless you know what it is that you're specifically talking about, right? So for me, if someone were to say, "Hey, we're going to make a trilogy of like this, this is the idea." I think it could be really exciting, and it might be something I'd want to be a part of. It just depends. It's like case by case. Now, having said that, I wouldn't want to go all the way to Mars, the unknown of like, are you 50-50 chances of making it back are pretty, harrowing. And that's not, my greatest passion. So, but I understand that someone else might want to do it.
What I love too about this show is that we live in such a politically hostile climate where
Mhm.
everybody's trying to pull us apart because of our social or views about everything. And here's this microcosm of 5 people, all from different backgrounds, different sexes, different thoughts, and they get along because they have a common goal. Why can't we be like that?
I know, I know. The show is such a great reminder of that, of, working together for a common goal, and kind of just breaking through stereotypes and what we think of people. Look, we all stereotype. It's just kind of how we define and kind of categorize like walking through the world. But it reminds us how dangerous stereotypes are, and that underneath it all, we're all human beings trying to experience life and live our fullest purpose and persevere and find our way. And I think that's what's so beautiful to me about storytelling at its core. And because it is so universal, stories in general are they like go back to that core meaning, of wanting to usually give and receive love in whatever form that is, and having a dream and wanting to persevere.
Well, Hilary Swank, I feel like I should be doing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, but see how hard that is? That's one of the things we had to overcome. You want to talk slowly when you're moving, but you can't because you don't do that on space.
But I'm here on Earth. Thank you so much. The TV show's called away, and this is Scott Orland. Until next time.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you, Scott. And cut, please.